Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Solar today, and it's been a great show. You can actually still join us and see our last segment, probably our best, because we're going to talk about how to pay for it, what's the best options, all that good stuff regarding solar. Go to donandgino.com, click on the live streaming button, and voila, you enter our studio with 8 HD cameras to help you share the experience with us. And it's been a great experience with you, Mark.
I'm having a great time. Thanks for having me.
Always fun.
So if you guys don't mind, since this is kind of like my segment, right? This is the money piece where I'm breaking this down and
Lisa,
talking
can we
about
turn
it,
his mic off?
Well, I'm gonna tee this
I
up,
don't think any
right?
of us are going to
Because
have
I
a
think
chance now.
What's important here
See, if you'd
is
wore a
that-
blue shirt, we'd give you more time.
Oh,
nice.
damn!
There we
I
go.
knew that would come back. I knew that would come back and haunt me.
That's awesome. Of course, we're going to leave here and go get our second jobs at Best Buy.
or with the helpful Honda people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're getting some punchback. Okay, cool.
Okay.
See, you could join us. Again, go to donandgino.com. We're having a good time here.
So here's the thing. There's lots of different ways to pay for solar, right? And, I think we identify those things first, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. A lease may be fantastic for someone. It's not a bad product. It just, is it right for you? And it's a lot like financing your home. It's the same thing. I see the same ideas. Some people pay cash. Some people quasi-lease, maybe an interest-only loan or a negative amortization loan. And then you've got, people that do more of a long-term finance, a 30-year fixed loan. So we have similar type options in solar. And the problem I see in your industry is that hardly any of the salespeople are financing experts.
Exactly. You noticed.
Yeah, I noticed really quickly.
And they don't share the bottom line. You were really nice because I'm like, why this versus this versus this versus this? Of course, I had it all laid out just like we do for our loans. And again, thank you for your patience. But we really wanted to understand it for a lot of you out there that are listening and go and take our advice based on our research. And we do our research. It's not just all our opinions. We actually research it and we share it. And you sent me back a beautiful spreadsheet going, sounds all good, doesn't it? Oh, wait, how much are you paying for that system versus our financing system? And it was literally almost 2.5 times more I would have paid for that system over the lifetime of the
huge.
system.
It
2.5
was-
times
yeah.
more. But you don't realize that because they
good.
just share the today numbers.
So let's talk about that, right? So the only piece that I've seen so far that the solar industry sells is cash flow. They sell cash flow. They don't sell
Yeah, they
long-term cost. They sell, what is this going to save you this month, next month, and then in the future as energy costs go up. They only sell cash flow. So it's almost like those guys that in 2006 used to put their hand over the total cost of interest on the truth in lending thing, and they would say, sign here, and they would put their hand over the part where it says you're going to pay $1.2 million for this $400,000 loan. So it's almost the same thing. So let's break it down a little bit. Tell us what the choices are, and then we can try to figure out what's best for what type
we'll
of
let
person.
you talk, Mark.
Okay. Hey, cool. I have 30 seconds to talk about all the financing options. So, and basically I'm going to say to you exactly what I say to a potential client is I kind of profile and say, okay, who's a lease really good for? If you have no tax appetite, meaning you're not paying any taxes, you're retired, or you've got sufficient write-off that you can't use that 30% tax credit.
Beautiful.
So you don't want to give up 30%. With a lease, basically, it's rolled into the lease. If you need a low payment, that's the most thing. You got a young family, and every extra dollar going out is important. A lease might be good for you.
Sure.
Cash, obviously, is always king. If you can write a check, now you have no electric bill and you have no payment. So, if you're fortunate enough to be in that situation, always a great way to go. But then the financing options, there's low interest financing that's anywhere from 12 to 20 years. Again, the shorter term, the difference between a 15-year and a 30-year mortgage, your payment goes up, but your total cost drops dramatically. Any loan's the same way. So the longer the term, your payment drops, but then your total
sexy.
Cost, your total cost. So it depends on what your situation.
Sure.
Like I say, you're a young family, and every $20 a month matters. Stretch it out. And very often you can do a 20-year loan for the same or less than a lease, and a lease typically goes up 2 to 3% a year.
Yeah, they don't notice that either. They just look at today's. When they show it to you, all you're looking at is it's going to save me, for our numbers, $200 a month, and you're not, well, What about that lease? It's going to continue good because the
That's
one
a
I
step
looked
up,
at had
right?
a step up, 3%, 2.5% a year or something
Yeah, it's
like
probably
that.
2.8.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunpower has probably the lowest at 2%. And you could get a 0%, but then you start out more. So again, where you think inflation's going, stuff like that. I mean, it gets very sophisticated if you want to go to that point, but you have to. What we like to try to do with our clients is what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? And when we were talking to the break, you were talking how long are you going to be in the home? That's huge. So if you're going to be in a home 3 or 4 years, very likely a PACE financing, which is actually added to your property taxes. And explain why
of you
that,
didn't know
So,
you could do
Gino,
that.
explain why that works for you. Why
Right.
you think that's so good.
So for me, right, because I'm not going to be in my home for the next 20, 30 years. Hope my wife's not listening because she wants this to be her forever home, but I don't want to stay in it any longer than I have to get my capital gains exemption. And and so the bottom line is if I paid for it cash, right, let's just say I could stroke the check. Well, cash is king. Well, not really, because what if I don't recoup that investment when I go to sell? Right now I've got a depreciated asset like anything you do to your house, like a kitchen, like a bathroom, like anything like that. With the PACE financing, I'm adding it to my property tax base. And so it sticks with the house. And then when I go to sell it, I no longer have to deal with solar. It's part of the home. It's part of the property tax base. And it transfers. So it's pay as you go solar, because if I only stay in the house for 5 years, I've only paid for 5 years worth of solar. If I stayed in it for 9 years, I've only paid for 9 years worth of solar. So I'm only paying for what I use.
and you're
what's
still saving.
What's great about that is your wife wins the argument, and she probably does most of the time. And
Usually,
you're there
yeah.
20 years, you're fine.
It's fine.
Because now you've just paid it over, whatever,
Yeah.
20, 25 years.
And the
but
interest
if you,
rate is reasonable. It's
Yeah.
the same type of interest rate you'd get on regular financing. It's, again, 6 to 8% financing, totally reasonable. And the upfront fees are not too bad either. So worst case scenario, yes, like anything else, if I don't hold it long enough, it's very expensive up first financing. Like any financing, folks, by the way, if you don't keep a 30-year mortgage for all 30 years, there's an evil secret called an effective interest rate. We'll talk about on a different show, Don. But that's what happens with all financing. So the longer you stay in, the cheaper it is.
All right.
and that's what we really offer our clients. And I get very involved
You
when
do.
somebody's sophisticated, really needs financing. Explain. My phone line, my door's open.
Yeah, I was going to go there. How do they get a hold of you, Mark, before we run out of time? Because it's imperative. I guarantee a lot of you out there are going, this is somebody that I feel comfortable
Yeah.
talking to and finding out more. And what's nice is you don't push us. You didn't sell us. You just keep informing us so we can make an educated decision and a comfortable one.
We want you to buy from us. We don't want to sell you. And,
I love that.
It's really important that this works for you and your family, not for us. And so, yes, Sunpower by Green Convergence, the company name. We're on Westinghouse Place, right at the 5 and the 126 on the Newhall Ranch. You'll see the big Sunpower by Green Convergence sign. greenconvergence.com is our website.
Nice.
661-294-9999. Real easy to remember is our phone number.
All right,
And
Mark
we've
Figearo.
got people always answering the phone, ready to take your information.
And if you're going to go to it, so you drive by it and you go, oh, there it is. When you drive and you make a left and another left and you see no green convergence sign in the front, drive all the way to the back. It's back there. Trust me.
Thank you.
It's back
Thank
there.
you.
I saw the trucks in the parking lot. That's what led me in.
Hey, Mark, thank you again for always a great interview and great information. You're very informed, very casual, very I love your family-owned company that you really care about our community and taking great care of us. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. So tune in every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can find out more at donandgino.com or get our daily updates by texting NREC to the number 58885. Thank you for sharing this wonderful Saturday. You have a great weekend and be good humans.